Hey, good morning. Tommy Martin here, hanging out in my kitchen. Hope you're having a great day so far. Hey, we're continuing to walk through the book of Philippians, and this morning we're going to be talking about the roles of pastor and worker using the examples of Timothy and a guy named Epaphroditus. We'll be in Philippians 2:19 through 30, and let me read it for us. I hope in the Lord Jesus to send Timothy to you soon, so that I too may be cheered by news of you. For I have no one like him who will be genuinely concerned for your welfare. For they all seek their own interest, not those of Jesus Christ. But you know Timothy's proven worth, how as a son with a father he has served me in the gospel. I hope therefore to send him just as soon as I see how it will go with me. And I trust in the Lord that shortly I myself will come also. I have thought it necessary to send you Epaphroditus, my brother and fellow worker and fellow soldier, and your messenger and minister to my needs. For he has been longing for you all and has been distressed because you heard that he was ill. Indeed, he was ill, near to death, but God had mercy on him, and not only on him, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow. I am the more eager to send him, therefore, that you may rejoice at seeing him again, and that I may be less anxious. So receive him in the Lord with all joy, and honor such men, for he nearly died for the work of Christ, risking his life to complete what was lacking in your service to me. So we have a need for pastors and workers. Well, what do you need in a pastor? Well, Paul describes Timothy as a person who will look out for you and look out for the cause of Christ and not look out for himself. So I hope you have a pastor that's truly like that. They're concerned about you. They're concerned about getting the message of Christ out, and they're not that concerned about themselves. What else? Well, a pastor that has proved himself by his efforts. Paul describes Timothy and he says, I've seen him work. I've seen what he does. And so hopefully you can look at your pastor and you can name off a list of things or occurrences or times that you've seen him put in lots of effort. He's gone the extra mile to do a funeral of a family member, or to do a wedding, or to comfort you when you've lost a job or something. When you were sick, he's done things. He's worked at it. So pastors that care about you, that care about the message of Christ, and that are working. They are putting their hand to the plow. And then workers. A worker who joins in the work and in the fight. Someone that doesn't give up, who takes care of the needs of the church. It says Epaphroditus almost died for the work of Christ. He risked his life. Lots of jobs around your church that are pretty safe for you to do, but be serious about them. And then a worker who makes up for others and for what they cannot do. And I hear people say, I just feel like I'm doing everything around here. Great. That's a description of a worker. A worker does more than his share. That's the way work is. So, are you a pastor or a worker? Now, here's the deal about being a pastor. You may not be paid by a church, but you're a pastor. You may help lead a small group at church, or you may teach children or teach youth. You may be the spiritual leader at your company or in your work group or in your family or in your extended family. And you work at it and you serve that group and you lead that group. So if that's you, again, you may not be on a church staff. A church may not be paying you, but you're a pastor and God has placed you in that role, and you need to be the pastor God has called you to be. Or are you a worker? Well, then work well. No grumbling, no complaining. And again, workers always do more than their share. And why is that? Well, because some are sick, either spiritually or physically or whatever. They just can't work. Not right now. Maybe they can work in the future. Or they're immature, and maybe they'll grow up. But right now, they're immature to work. We wouldn't expect a 3-year-old to go out and mow the yard. Well, an immature Christian is just not ready for work yet. Or perhaps they're off pastoring, and you can be the worker that frees up time for the pastor. If you're part of a small church and the pastor has to mow the yard, you go mow the yard. Let him go study in his Bible, or go visit the sick, or go to the hospital. after COVID, of course. But, be the worker that frees up your pastor to do his pastoring job. And at times, the pastor may be the worker and the worker may be the pastor. But we have roles to play as Christians and in the church. And pew sitting is not a role. Okay? So be a pastor, be a worker. God bless you. Have a great day.